This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
And good evening to you here at 11 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins, bringing you the news from my home as RTV6 practices social distancing.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. Tomorrow, the city will honor the life and legacy of IMPD officer Breanne Leath. She was shot and killed last week while responding to a domestic violence call on the east side. The 24-year-old leaves behind a young son. A private funeral service will be held at Indianapolis Motor Speedway at 11 o'clock. Major Ida Williams says anyone who met Officer Leath knew how much she loved her jobs.
Bree never hesitated to talk to young people or those that were interested in law enforcement. She often shared her experiences on what she went through to become a police officer. So again, I would ask that to hold on to the memories that are being displayed about her and just know that she loved this job more than anything.
After the funeral, a procession will escort Officer Leath's remains to Crown Hill Cemetery due to COVID-19 restrictions. The public is reminded to follow social distancing guidelines while viewing the procession. You can watch the service here on RTV6 and on the RTV6 app.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus outbreak in Indiana. The State Department of Health says there are now 436 deaths in the Hoosier State. More than 8,900 people have tested positive for the virus, and more than 48,000 people have been tested altogether here.
And state leaders want you to know if you need to go to the hospital or call 911, do it. At today's daily briefing on COVID-19, officials said they have seen a decrease in emergency calls and ER visits for non-coronavirus related problems. They have also seen an increase in people dying in their homes of heart attacks. Officials believe people are afraid of getting infected in waiting rooms or do not want to burden the medical system. The state health commissioner does not want you to think that way.
If you're ill and emergently need to be taken, call 911. That's what we're there for. That's what we want to do. We don't want people to die in increasing numbers in our state that is not related to COVID-19.
In Johnson County, hospitals are reporting emergency room counts down by as much as 50%.
We could be the bridge between the community and some of these higher stakeholders.
Tonight, a plea for lawmakers to connect with grassroots organizations to address the disproportionate impact COVID-19 is having on the black community. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker has been following this story since Indiana released its first data about COVID-19 and race. Tonight, he shows you what lawmakers are asking the governor to do and how the community activists want you to help.
We are directly impacted ourselves. We are from this community, and so we know these people organically.
That's why D. Ross says legislators and other community stakeholders should be getting in touch with people like him to address COVID-19 and its impact on the black community.
We know exactly what we need and don't need. We are the answers to our problems, and they need to understand how important it is moving forward to having us, the community, at the table.
This comes after alarming statistics show African Americans in Indiana make up 20% of COVID-19 cases and deaths, while only being 10% of the state's population. The Indiana Black Legislative Caucus sent this letter to the governor, urging him to adopt the measures they included in it. Testing in triage centers in black communities, anti-racism training for health workers, and an outreach campaign geared toward African Americans are just a few of them. All recommendations those in public policy say could address the overall issues in the black community caused by decades and decades of discriminatory laws and practices.
It boils down to actually just calling things being related to race. I think often the language gets conflated in things like poverty or crime, when really we're seeing that these racial disparities are happening regardless of income, regardless of regardless of some of the behaviors that folks like to kind of conflate with race.
For D. Ross, this COVID-19 outbreak is personal. It's why he's fighting so hard to help those who are most vulnerable.
This virus is real. It is very real. I have 3 family members on life support fighting for their lives. I lost a family member and a friend to this virus. We have to take this more serious and urgent.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
In response to their letter, Governor Holcomb says he's looking forward to working with the Black Caucus. The Ross Foundation is partnering with several other community groups to get out much needed essential items and information.
Popular home rental website Airbnb is working together with property owners to offer frontline workers a place to stay while they fight the pandemic. Now, we first talked with an Indianapolis couple a few weeks ago when they put their home on the market. RTV6's Stephanie Wade shows you how much the need has grown.
I have a purpose for now that is helping me go through this.
Jax Von Leria and Michael Hoster are longtime Airbnb hosts for 6 years now. When Jax lost his job, working as a makeup artist in film and television, he wanted to put his effort into something meaningful in this time of need, opening their home to healthcare workers and first responders as a place to stay amid the pandemic. They're now on to hosting their second healthcare worker, a part of Airbnb's Frontline Stays program, offering free or discounted stays for COVID-19 responders.
We had one girl for a long weekend. She couldn't go home because of her son had a stem cell transplant, so she was in danger. This girl that's over there now is working the front line. She's actually working in the ER.
The couple tells me they've found purpose hosting the heroes of our community. They even started making care packages for them, getting restaurants to donate food and making face masks of their own for their guests to bring to their coworkers on the front lines. The company says the need for more hosts is growing. They also want hospitals to know this is a resource they can offer their staff. The couple hopes this will encourage more people to join. Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
First responders and healthcare workers are getting support from a speedway company in a different way. Fatheads Eyewear is one of several companies working with the state to make personal protective equipment. They typically specialize in glasses and sunglasses, but now the company is manufacturing and distributing products like safety goggles and face shields.
My whole idea with this was, let's start doing personal protection equipment. I had the opportunity and was able to find the right people to partner with and team up with to do this manufacturing.
The equipment is delivered to the National Guard, which then distributes it to area medical facilities. A hotel and a Fisher's Church are working together to serve the community by serving food. Today, I-Town Church and the JW Marriott teamed up for a drive-through grocery giveaway specifically for people in the hospitality industry. It's one of many ways the congregation is stepping up to help in this time of need.
We wanted to make sure we took care of the most vulnerable families here in central Indiana. And the hospitality community serves Hoosiers every day, every night, and we wanted to make sure it's our turn to serve them. So we are ending up this event here at the JW Marriott, where we've served close to 500 families from the hospitality community here in downtown Indianapolis. We have another service event at School 34 in Fountain Square on Saturday, and then tomorrow we are serving the healthcare community through giving masks and hot coffee away at our Olson Farms campus in Fishers. But all this information can be found at our website, itownchurch.com/rapid response.
Last week, the congregation worked with the Department of Child Services to provide food and other necessities to foster families. We want to hear more stories of Hoosiers working together during this difficult time. Share the positive efforts going on in your communities by emailing us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
RTV6 is working together with the United Way of Central Indiana. We are teaming up for the COVID-19 Community Economic Relief Fund. The initiative supports organizations that serve people and families affected by the pandemic. You can donate to the fund by texting HELP 2020 to 91999.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative is always committed to connecting you to jobs and opportunities. But that mission is more important than ever now as unemployment rates skyrocket amid the pandemic. A landscaping company in Westfield is adding new employees. Spring is a busy time of year for Hiddle Landscape. The company says it's been around since the 1970s. The vice president of Holman Resources says prior experience is welcome but not necessary.
If you don't have experience, maybe you worked in an industry where you're experiencing a layoff or a furlough as a result of this crazy COVID-19 crisis. We are always looking for humble, hungry, and smart individuals.
The company offers training. Available positions include landscaping crew leaders and members and irrigation service technicians. Spring is also a busy time of year for construction. The Indiana Department of Transportation is looking to fill more than 1,000 construction-related jobs. You can learn more about those positions at a virtual job fair tomorrow. It starts at 10 a.m. Representatives will talk about what INDOT does, the benefits, and how to apply. For more information about the job fair and positions available at Hiddle Landscape, you can go to hiringhoosiers.com. There you can also find links to apply for many other jobs. Big box stores like Walmart and Meijer, grocery stores, convenience stores, drug stores, pizza chains, and senior care facilities are all among the industries that are adding employees immediately.
President Trump says tomorrow he will speak to governors and announce new guidelines for reopening the country. The president talked about the issue at today's White House briefing.
Not all states are the same. They're very different. Some are having very little problem. Some have done such a good job that they have very little problem, and they're ready to go.
Ultimately, it will be up to states to decide when to lift their stay-at-home orders.
We like to be part of the community, and we like to make sure we're taking care of the people who support us.
A Mass Ave restaurant is expanding its menu to include more than food. How the changes are helping the business and helping serve the community in a different way.
Is your gym still charging fees despite being closed under stay-at-home orders? Why you may be entitled to a refund. Kevin.
And just so there's no surprise, snow and rain overnight tomorrow night, but I'm also anxious to tell you what's ahead for the weekend.
Working for you.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Welcome back. If you belong to a gym, you might want to check your bank account to see if they're still charging you a monthly membership fee. Caucus Investigates Kara Kenny found policies vary greatly in terms of how gyms are handling COVID-19.
The YMCA is asking for its members' support during COVID-19 so they can provide child care to essential workers and do blood drives and food distribution. They're still charging members unless they opt out. The YMCA and other gyms are offering online classes as a way to help their members while their facilities are closed. But you need to check your account because some gyms like the Y may still charge you until you opt out. Jessica Falvey works out at Orange Theory in downtown Indy. Orange Theory immediately froze her membership amid COVID-19 and stopped charging her, which she was really thankful for.
I work from home. And so I needed to get out of my house because I wasn't working out at home. So I was going there on my lunch breaks. I go about 3 or 4 times a week. So when we got the notification that they were freezing our memberships and not charging us, I was really sad because I really wanted to keep going to the gym. But it was great that they handled it the way they did. We didn't have to reach out. They did it for us. And it was a very long, heartfelt message about how they didn't want to close, but they're offering online classes for us.
The Attorney General's office has received a handful of complaints so far about gym memberships. The AG's office says gyms may fall under the Health Spa Services Act, which entitles you to a refund for days the gym was closed. We've created a list of gyms and how they're handling membership fees during COVID-19. You can find that in this story on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com. Reporting in Indianapolis, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
And the YMCA released a statement this afternoon pointing out they are a nonprofit and saying they are thankful to their members and donors who are sticking with them. You can read their response in this story on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com.
RTV6 is shining a light on businesses that are still open during the pandemic through our We're Open Indy initiative. Small businesses are getting creative to serve the community and keep their employees as well. The owner at Rooster's Kitchen on Mass Ave downtown says he has transformed his business model. Not only are they filling carryout orders, but they are also offering prepared meals for families and grocery pickup. You can now order items like milk, produce, and even toilet paper.
It's hard to say where we're going to be in a couple months, but we're going to do our best to take it day by day and also do some long-term planning to figure out where we're going to go and how we're going to do it. It's all about just being here with everybody, being in it together.
Throughout the pandemic, Rooster's Kitchen has been donating food to frontline workers and nonprofit organizations as well. Instead of gearing up for the month of May, restaurants in Speedway are also doing all they can to get by under its stay-at-home restrictions. RTV6's Brad Brown found the Indianapolis 500 is not the only thing that brings the Speedway community together.
Since 2006, Dawson's on Main has held down this corner of downtown Speedway. After a month closed on the state's shutdown orders, Wednesday saw Dawson's get back to business.
Waited 31 days, and it's time to get the grills fired up. We've had so many reach out and want to support us, but we wanted to do it smart, and I wanted to make sure that everyone was safe. That's our number one goal. Our number two goal is to serve our customers, because that's our lifeblood there.
3 days a week, we are ordering food from restaurants that are open just to give a boost to our employees, because we're not all in the office every day. We were all excited to come here and pick up lunch.
You know, the regular customers we miss the most. You know, that's who keeps our lights on, and that's who support us 365 days out of the year, and that's who we miss.
Dawson's is adding itself to a short list of businesses that remain open here in downtown Speedway. Normally, they'd be getting ready for a busy month of May. That will be August now. But for those that are open, they're saying they continue to get great support from the Speedway community.
As far as business goes, if we're not busy one day, another place is, and it's great for the community. It really is. And it bodes very well for the future. People stick together and they look out for each other.
O'Reilly's Pub is just a block up from Dawson's. They've stayed open with limited hours and a smaller menu. Owner Joel Wright says the support from the community has been a two-way street.
We offer family meals. You pay what you can for a meal. Our meals feed 4 to 6 people. I've had a great residents of Speedway and Indianapolis donate money to feed these families also that need it.
The servers, bartenders, we've had so many of them for so long that they miss their customers. You know, you take it for granted, really you do. When you don't see someone that comes in 2-3 times a week, it's a neighborhood bar and grill. It's a community thing, and they miss them.
And while they'll have to wait a little longer for these blocks to come to life, these businesses will be ready to wave the green flag when the time comes. Working for you in Speedway, Brad Brown, RTV6.
And Brad, staying on the flag theme, I'll go with a yellow flag for tomorrow night. Rain and snow. Then we'll go with a green flag for the weekend as warmer temperatures arrive. We've got a dry and cold night in progress right now. Temperatures, they're headed below freezing and are already there in most locations. 28 Tipton in Peru, 32 in Lafayette. Temperature right now in Columbus, 36, but hang in there. You too will be down into the mid-20s to upper 20s. That freeze warning in effect through 9 a.m. Skies are clear right now. They'll stay that way through the overnight hours. We'll have a little mixture of clouds and sunshine during the day tomorrow. We're dry during the daylight hours. It gets more interesting tomorrow night. That will come from the west and increase our chance for, notice I say precipitation chances, because it won't just be rain, it will be snow and rain, likely at this time tomorrow night through the morning hours on Friday. Let's see how we divide this up. There's some rain shower activity at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. As we go through the overnight, you start to see the area of snow drifting to the south. So Lafayette, Kokomo, Richmond North, predominantly snow as we go first thing in the morning on Friday, with temperatures above freezing everywhere. I think what it creates is kind of a wet, slushy mess. The intensity of the snow may come down pretty good at times, so it may be slushy on roadways, and you'll see a good cover on the grass and mulch and your deck. 7 a.m. ongoing snow Friday morning north of Indy. From Indy south, it's rain. You can see 10 o'clock in the morning starting to shift really into the eastern half of the state, and then we'll push this out of the Hoosier State by the time we get to mid to late afternoon. We'll start to let in warmer temperatures over the weekend. Not quite there Friday, from around 40 to the mid 40s in Indy, but it's over the weekend that we'll see temperatures warm enough that it'll change the way you dress. Check out Sunday at 59 degrees. And as we look at that 7-day forecast, if you're hoping for 60s, searching for 60s, you'll find it Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Temperatures in the 60s. And I'll also point out, indications are beyond the 7-day forecast. Average temperatures are expected. Average temperatures are around 64 by the time we get to the middle part of next week. So 60s sound great compared to the 40s that we had today.
We're going up. Thank you, Kevin. Tonight would have been the Pacers' final game of the regular season. Instead, the NBA season is suspended and the future is unclear. So how is the franchise handling the uncertainty? RTV6 Sports Director Dave First talked to the team president in the Sports Extra Spotlight.
They'd like to get a little bit more production from Oladipo.
It's now been over a month since the Pacers have played a game and winning more times than not, and with an eye towards the playoffs. In a Zoom interview, team president Kevin Pritchard says it's hit everyone in the organization.
I don't know if I was prepared to understand what players were going through, because you have this regiment and then it's gone. And, you know, I can feel it in my own self, to be honest with you. That first couple of weeks, I was like, wait a second, you know, something's missing.
With the block.
Among it, momentum. The Pacers had won 8 of the last 11 before things came to a halt. And Commissioner Adam Silver isn't about to rush a return. In fact, the earliest a decision could be made about possibly continuing the season would be May. Even then,
Commissioner says, okay, we're going to go. But there's got to be a period, I would think, where you're going to need a week or 2 weeks to get everybody back into game shape.
I would say 2 or 3 weeks minimum, and then play some games. But you know, we're going to have to be cautious, because you know we got to get them back to a point where they can play at the highest level too.
Until then, Kevin says the team's strength and conditioning staff checks in daily on the players' workout program. There's even a 90-minute group Zoom meeting every week, with most of the guys finding a local gym in between.
And I applaud that. You know, it's like, you know, they're torn because they want to get in the gym. They want to get a good workout. They want to be playing 1-on-1, 2-on-2-on-2. But I think the most important thing that they can possibly do is adhere to these social distancing rules and get out of this as fast as we can.
No one wants a safe return to the season quite like Kevin Pritchard. A return to the smiles, a chance to see just how hungry this team is. But for now, there's an empty feeling.
In your opinion, how much does this country, the world perhaps, need sports?
Boy, I don't know if there's ever been a time where we need it more. I'm a big believer that, you know, sports brings us together in a unique way, and that we miss that. We definitely miss that, Dave.
A season that, for many reasons, can't return soon enough. Day First, RTV6 Sports.
It's over when people know I'm 100% safe and I don't have to worry about this. When does that happen? When we have a vaccine.
A COVID-19 vaccine is still likely more than a year away, but other testing is quickly moving forward to help prevent the spread of the virus.
Jesus Smith. Saturday afternoon at 5. This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
In some parts of the country, stories of people recovering from COVID-19 are emerging. In others, new hotspots are growing. ABC's Trevor Ault has the latest on where the fight against the virus stands across the United States.
With now more than 600,000 Americans testing positive for COVID-19, the hope is that those who recover from the virus and develop antibodies will develop immunity, like New York City ER doctor Eugene Parapata, who fought the virus himself, only for his wife and daughter to test positive too.
But it's still a lot of uncertainty whether or not there's true resistance to the disease of people who have tested positive, who have recovered. If this is something that we could get reinfected with, I think we're in pretty bad shape.
Many are now pushing for antibody tests in hopes immunity can be developed after a person is exposed. That as the FDA quickly approved a new saliva-based COVID-19 test. This New Jersey facility rolling them out, the results expected within minutes. And across the country, some hotspots are continuing to struggle. Louisiana reporting Monday was its deadliest day yet in the coronavirus pandemic.
One of these numbers is a
person. It's one of our neighbors. It's one of our friends.
And a new potential hotspot in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. More than 400 workers at a single pork processing plant are now sick, more than 100 of them testing positive. The city's mayor asking the governor, who has resisted stay-at-home orders, to take action.
We're growing increasingly concerned about the need to mitigate that spike before it overwhelms our hospitals.
In areas that are believed to have already hit an apex or flattened the curve, officials still warn of a second wave. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo today signed an executive order requiring New Yorkers to wear masks or face coverings in public, and he says his state and the country have a long way to go.
It's over when people know I'm 100% safe and I don't have to worry about this. When does that happen? When we have a vaccine.
Health agencies have been aggressively pursuing a vaccine and even started some human clinical trials, but a vaccine that's publicly available still isn't expected for another 12 to 18 months. Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
Working for you.
Dry and cold in the morning, a mixture of clouds and sunshine through the day. It is tomorrow night into Friday morning that we see rain and snow, mainly snow north of Indy. Mark?
All right, thank you, Kevin, and thank you for choosing RTV6 News at 11. It's been great having you along tonight. Good Morning Indiana comes your way at 4:30 in the morning. Until then, we hope you have a great night and be safe. Good night.